The views and opinions expressed on the following program may not necessarily reflect the views of the staff, management, or board of Hope Media Group and KSBJ. It's what's happening around us, in our town, suburb, city, in our community. It's Community Beat with Kim Kasi McKee on 89.3 KSBJ.
Hello and welcome to Community Beat, where we're keeping you attuned to the topics that are impacting our local communities and helping our communities to thrive. I'm your host, Kim Kasi McKee, and today we're raising awareness for two organizations with huge hearts to help those in need, whether it is the need for food during Thanksgiving or the need for employment. Today's guests can help. Our first guests are from an organization known as WorkFaith Connection, where I've personally been connected with for several years. Not only did I go through their actual job employment program, but also as a staff member. Very recently attended their 14th annual breakfast, and this organization does an amazing work in our city. And you will want to learn more about what they do to help those who are in a season of transition. So the guests who are joining me today, I have Nick Hardy and Sivivian. Welcome to you both.
Hey, thanks so much, Kim.
All right. We'll start with you, Nick. Nick, tell us what you do for WorkFaith.
Yeah, so at WorkFaith, I serve as the Chief Program Officer, and so responsible for just our overall programmatic initiatives along with just the strategic direction, as well as a lot of our online content that I'm sure we'll talk about a little bit later on. But I've been with the organization for a little over 2 years now.
Excellent. Well, I'm sure you're doing an amazing job for WorkFaith Connection. And also here is Sivivian Merrick. Sivivian, how are you? Tell us what you do for WorkFaith.
I'm doing great, Kim. I am the manager of program services at WorkFaith, which entails our instruction and coaching, which is our bread and butter of WorkFaith, where we teach the job readiness. And also they go through coaching that helps them to operationalize the things that they've been taught during our Job Search Accelerator class. And I've been with WorkFaith, just celebrated my 3rd year on Saturday. So yay me.
Wow.
Just happy to be here.
Congratulations. That is so awesome. I've certainly had wonderful experiences with the staff there that I've met. All of you are so committed and dedicated to what you're doing. All right. So let's just jump right in. Nick, for those who are hearing that WorkFaith Connection, it raises a question in people's minds. WorkFaith, what is that? Mm-hmm. So tell us, what is that? What is WorkFaith Connection?
Absolutely. So WorkFaith, I mean, just like the name, we're a nonprofit organization that provides faith-based training and coaching to anyone who desires long-term employment. And when we say anyone, we do mean anyone. And so regardless of your background, regardless of any type of barriers to employment, criminal history, experience, we have an opportunity at WorkFaith to help you land a job and or advance in your career. And so we've been in the Houston community for well over 15 years. We have national reach, even though we're headquartered here in the city of Houston. But thankfully, because of technology, we've been able to expand beyond just the city limits. And so we're super grateful for that. But we have several programs at WorkFaith that are targeted to help people find employment and advance in their career. We have our job readiness program. It's called our Job Search Accelerator. This is a hybrid. So if you're here in the city, you can attend the training in person, but it's not just limited to in person. You can also access this training online. It's a 5-day program, and it is designed to help people land their dream job. So whether it's interviewing skills, talking about your past experience, developing that application. I mean, there's so many different aspects to this 5-day training, but it is literally time tested. And so we've served thousands of people through this program and have countless amount of testimonies about its success. So that is kind of the hallmark of our programming. But as Sivivian alluded to, we also have coaching. So in addition to the Job Search Accelerator, individuals are connected with the coach where they can work one-on-one to help refine those skills that they learned in the Job Search Accelerator program. And we also have soft skill training as well, too. So communication, teamwork, problem solving, adaptability, all of those things that employers constantly complain about. We actually have the resources to help people grow in those areas.
That is excellent. I'd love to hear from you, Sivivian. He talked about the importance of coaching. Many people, when they think of coaching, first of all, they're going to think of dollar signs. So is this a service that you provide as part of the program? And what does it entail? How important is it for a person who are going through a season of unemployment to have a coach?
What our coaches do, like they're in class, like Nick stated, for 5 days through our job readiness. That means to get you going, to give you information, give you tools, right, that you can use in the next part of your phase of your job search journey, right? Mm-hmm. And you need someone to come alongside you, to motivate you, to walk you through those things, to help you put those things into action. And that's just what the coaches do. We help you with mock interviews, resume review, because we know a lot of people think that the resume gets you the job, but the resume is actually there to get you that interview, to make you stand out amongst others. So what the coaches do, we look at those things and we make sure that you're ready. And we don't just make sure you're ready to interview. We make sure that your mindset is different too. We help you with your changed mindset of things that may have kept you from being unsuccessful in your past job search, in your past jobs, right? So we make sure that we try to help you to change those things by invoking critical thinking. Like, what can you do different than you did at your last job? What were those things that kept you from being successful and maybe being promoted, or just getting a raise, or maybe keeping that job and just making it into a career path of something that you're passionate about? So we act as your accountability partners, to make sure that you're doing what you need to do to reach your goals that you set for yourself.
That is excellent. I'm going to go back to something I heard you say, Nick. You mentioned how your program is for anyone. Mm-hmm. I know there are times that people have some reticence about coming to a program like this, especially if they may be a seasoned professional.
Yes.
And feel like I've gotten jobs before. Mm-hmm. But yet there could be some barrier there, some blind spot mm-hmm. that you guys are able to identify and address during that period of time. I also think about the person with a past, a criminal past, or a person that is a senior citizen. Mm-hmm. So speak to that idea of there being something for everyone to go who comes through this program.
Yes, there is something for everyone. And you're right. I think we all have blind spots, mm-hmm. even more so when you've been employed for an extended period of time, because the market is constantly changing. And you know what you know, but you don't know what you don't know. And
That's good.
So a lot of times our coaches are able to, first of all, they have an ear to the street in terms of what's happening in the marketplace. And so people who are transitioning, as we say, either they're transitioning from one career to another career, they're transitioning back into the marketplace, say they were a stay-at-home mom, or say they want to stay in the same career, but they've been employed at a company for an extended period of time and they don't know what a resume looks like now, because mm-hmm. the last time they had the interview was 15, 20 years ago. Mm-hmm. Our programs are designed to meet people where they are. And that's why we have different entry points, to your point, because we have a transitional track for individuals who, are transitioning. We also have second chance. These are people who have some traditional barriers to employment, incarceration, past history with substance use, just the things that we think about mm-hmm. when we think about barriers. But then we also have people who are working and they say, listen, I just want to advance. I feel stuck, I'm stagnant, and I need to go to that next level. And so we meet you where you are. Obviously, we have our 5-day program, but then we also have a more personalized approach as well, too, through our coaching.
That is excellent. So talk about that again. You mentioned entry points. So does that mean that some people may go straight into your job readiness 5-day class and some people may go through a different track?
Yes, we meet you where you are. So some people say, you know what, I may not have the time to participate in the 5-day training. I just need coaching. Well, they actually have that opportunity to enroll in our coaching as well. And this is simple. You can go on our line or you can call WorkFaith, the office, and actually say, hey, I want to schedule a coaching appointment. For some people, they need a little bit more hands-on, more methodical approach to kind of walk them from not working or, career where they've been at for years. And they may start at our Job Search Accelerator program. And so, yes, we do have various entry points. There is no one size fits all because everybody has different unique needs. And so as an organization to live out our mission, it's super important that we create programming that caters to that audience.
So Vivian, what would you say is a typical time frame that it may take a person to get a job? Obviously, when they come through your doors, that's uppermost in their mind. Hopefully they don't think that on the 6th day, and they've been in the program 5 days, and on the 6th one, they're going to land a job. But what does that process look like, that pathway to finding employment?
Well, Kim, first they have to know what it is that they want to do, right?
Sure.
Because looking at a job board, you've never seen a job that says anything, right? You've never seen a job where it says how much, when you ask them how much you want to make, anything or open, right? There's no such thing as that.
Yes.
So those are the things that a coach can help them to get first.
Okay.
Because you can't just go out there saying, I'll do anything. I can do 50,000 things. Because if you're listing all of that on your resume and you're not focused on the job you're applying for, then the employer's not going to know what you want to do, right?
Okay.
They're going to be like, well, they can do everything, but it has nothing to do with this job, right? So you have to be focused first. And the amount of time it takes, Kim, well, that's really up to the person we're coaching, right?
Okay.
Because if you put in time, right, because we can't job search for you.
Right.
We can't interview for you, but we can give you the tools to go out there and get your job yourself, right? But it has to be you buying into your experience, you buying into your goals that you've set forth for yourself. And if you don't participate, then it's going to take a long time.
Sure.
But, these things that we're asking, them to do, or these guidelines that we're trying to get them to steer toward is only for their success. Right. It's not to harm you. It's just to help you, because if they use these tools that's been given in the Job Search Accelerator, they can also use they can really use these tools when they get on this job, and they will stand out amongst their peers. Things like, let's say they get on a job, right? And they've never worked in that industry before, but the company's giving them a chance. Learning how to find that particular person that's the go-to person at that job, right? Those are things that we teach them to go and do once they do get that job. So really, it's up to them, right? But it's also up to them. It's up to them to do what they need to do to be successful. But we just want to give them the tools to be successful.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
That is awesome. So how long can a person stay connected to a coach? Does that end at the end of their 5-day journey, or what does that look like?
Well, since my time at WorkFaith, I've seen clients that have come back from 2011, right?
Wow.
You never lose your part in our family at WorkFaith. You can go get a job, work 7 years, 6 years, 20 years, and come back and say, hey, my company, they had a reduction in force. I'm now looking for work again. What can I do? Is there anything that you can point me toward? And the coach can help them transfer the skills that they already have and go on to something else if they prefer a different industry. So once you're part of the WorkFaith family, you're in it for life.
Wow, that is awesome. So when they approach their next transition, or they might hit a tough spot at their current employer, they can come back to you. They can stay connected to you.
Yes, they can. We have our WorkFaith Academy courses that reiterates, things that they may have experienced on the job, and they're confused about what to do. Conflict resolution. How to deal with difficult people, right? And that difficult person can be themselves. Okay, let's just point that out, right? It doesn't necessarily have to be the people you work with. It could be you, but helping them to explore those things, right? To figure out what it is that's going on, right? And helping them to realize, what part did I play? What can I do to be better? What can I do to make people see me differently than I was at previous employment, right? So, yeah.
Okay. Yeah. Well, Nick, someone once said there's no such thing as a free cat. So what is that cat's going to have to be fed and got to do some things to care for it. What's the cost for this? What does it cost a person to come through your program?
All of our programs are free of charge. We are super blessed as an organization to have a generous community of investors, of partners who believe in our mission. And so to the people we serve, zero cost. As Sivivian alluded to, it will cost some work.
Sure. Mm-hmm.
And that is something that we all have within our own reach, regardless of economics. And so financially, it costs zero. But there is a commitment to work the process. There is work involved because no one hires you just because you need a job.
Sure.
So the only thing that we ask is that people just remain committed, put in the work, and we almost guarantee that they will see the fruit of the labor if they do so.
Speak to your village, the people that you rely on to support you, whether it's financially or volunteers. What are some of the things, are the areas where you need help beyond the reach of your staff? Because obviously what you do is very far reaching.
Yeah. Well, we wouldn't exist without the prayers of our community. That's number one. We have a faithful community of believers who believe in our work and who lift up WorkFaith in prayer consistently. We also have a generous group of donors, or investors, who believe in our mission and support us financially. It costs money to do ministry.
Sure.
And so it's just no getting around that. And so we have people who genuinely believe in what we do, but put their money where their mouth is as well too, and to help us grow and invest in the lives of people that we serve. And beyond that, we're always looking to expand from a partnership perspective. We are moving into Austin. And so we're actively looking for community partners in the Austin area. So that's an area of need. And then volunteers as well too.
You talked about moving into Austin. So how is this program portable? What makes it portable?
Yes. Well, I always say this. First, Houston is our home. And so for anyone that may have ever questioned, does this move to Austin mean that we're no longer going to be in Houston? No, it's not the case. Houston is home. However, what we provide, so many people need. And so we want to have an active presence in multiple cities throughout the country, but Austin is our first stop. And so because of our hybrid model, people can now access our programming virtually. And so when I say we're moving into Austin, it will mirror that hybrid approach where, yes, they can still access our program in Austin and other cities, but we're actually working to couple it with a in-person presence as well too. And so our coaches are going to be working diligently to work with organizations, our instructors, and just the overall WorkFaith team is going to walk alongside various organizations. So our faith-based training and coaching, curriculum and programming can have an active presence. And when I say active presence, obviously there's the training and coaching, but there's an employer part as well too. Our programs are designed to get people jobs. Sure. And so it just doesn't stop with the training and coaching, even though that's where we specialize, that there's a full circle that takes place. And so.
Sure. So just to be clear on this part of it. So if a person comes through your 5-day program, they can actually come on site physically.
Absolutely.
And be in a classroom setting if they want to have that interaction.
Yes.
But they're not limited if they can't.
Yes, we have 2 locations. We have one on Tacoma, and then we also have one on Reed, which is in the Star of Hope location. So, okay. Yes, 2 physical locations where they can come on site and take our programming, but they're not limited to just being in person.
Awesome.
Yeah,
awesome.
Kim, we find that the online portion removes a lot of barriers. Right?
Sure.
People that don't have childcare, or my child's sick this week, I was supposed to come in person. What do? Well, now you can come virtually. You can still attend the class, but now it's virtual as opposed to having to go on site. So that removes a lot of barriers for people that may have their isms, right? That are stopping them, or they think that are stopping them from being successful. So that is something that we do that I'm not saying other people don't, but it's just something that we found during the COVID, when COVID happened, we found that has been very successful with our model.
That is excellent. So we are talking to representatives from WorkFaith Connection, where they provide faith-based training and coaching to anyone who desires long-term employment. So if you're listening and you are someone that you know is looking for a job, this is a wonderful starting point. this is a wonderful starting point, whether you're a person just starting out in your career or if you're a person who had a very seasoned career, 20, 30 years. What I hear Nick and Sivivian saying is there's something for you. So Nick, just tell our listening audience, first of all, what is the age requirement to benefit from your program? And then how do you get signed up for the program?
Yes. So we have recently started working with young adults, high school students.
Okay.
Traditionally, our programs have catered to adults,
Sure.
individuals 18 and older. However, for individuals who aren't 18, we still have opportunities for them through our young adult programming.
Excellent.
And so, yes, so there is no age requirement.
Okay.
There's more of a
Awesome.
commitment requirement more so than an age requirement. However, the majority of our population are adults because we're working with them on resume, interviewing, and our programming is designed to get them back to work. And so I would say adults, but again, do know that we do have trainings that cater to a younger demographic as well, too.
Excellent. I would think the earlier people get the information, the better.
Yes, absolutely. Especially with our soft skill trainings.
Okay.
And that's where we work predominantly with young adults is through our soft skill training, helping them with some of the critical skills that are needed when they do enter the marketplace, communication and teamwork and diversity, all of these things that, again, are intangible but show up in big ways.
Excellent. So, Sivivian, I'm sure you have heard many success stories in your working one-on-one with the program participants. Is there any particular one you could share with us?
Other than the story from our By Faith breakfast with Arena Hutago, I just wanted to speak to, when Nick's brought up how we help those that have a background that may have thought that life is over, nobody's going to hire me, I have this background, right? There is redemption and restoration for you as well, right? We had one person, he came from a facility downtown from a previous connection. He was like, I don't know what to do, Miss Sivivian. I'm lost. Nobody's going to hire me. I just got out of prison. How do I get a job? Well, he came through our job search accelerator class. He worked the process. He went to work with one of our partners, Workforce Solutions. And then one day I got this flyer for FedEx, right? And I said, hey, here's a FedEx flyer. Go to this job fair. I guarantee you'll get hired. Well, he got hired.
Wow.
And a year later to date, he is now an operations manager with a criminal background at FedEx.
Wow.
Making a plethora of money, right?
No, that's awesome.
Money's not everything.
Sure.
But coming from where he came from.
Absolutely.
With the feelings of I'm no good, right? I have this background. No one's going to want me, right? But now he's very successful and he's happy in what he's doing.
Wow. Wow. Well, the next success story could be yours. Nick, let our audience know where to go to find out how to sign up for a class, how to get involved with WorkFaith.
Absolutely. The best place is going to be on our website.
Okay.
If you go to workfaith.org, you will see the first thing you see is need a job. And so if you click that link, you will see a step-by-step process of how to register for our Job Search Accelerator program. Again, if you don't have 5 days or if you feel like, you know what, I'm working and really I just need the coaching, you can also click the coaching tab as well. And that will take you to a link that allows you to request a coach. If you have any questions, you can actually just call WorkFaith. And we have a team of people who are there to assist and literally walk you through that process. And so.
Awesome. Let's see if I remember that number. 713-984-9611.
That is correct, Kim.
Wow. Called it a few times myself.
Yes.
Awesome. Well, I just want to thank both of you, Nick Hardy, Sivivian Merrick, for the wonderful work you do for WorkFaith and for making this program available to our audience today.
Thanks so much for having us.
All right. Well, God bless you guys. We'll be back. Our next guest that is joining us today works as the regional director for Citywide Club of America, Miss Stephanie Lewis. Good morning, Stephanie.
Good morning. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, ma'am. Thank you so much for joining us. I know you're with an organization that has a rich history in our area as you guys are preparing for the 44th annual Thanksgiving Super Feast. So tell me about the Citywide Club.
Well, the Citywide Club is a nonprofit grassroots organization. We're best known for what we do at Thanksgiving and Christmas, but we provide services every day. Utility assistance, rental assistance, information and referral services, job keeping skills programs. You know, it's one thing to be able to get a job. It's another thing being trained how to keep it.
Absolutely.
And we make sure that our participants know how to keep their jobs by going to work, first of all, getting there on time and doing what's asked of you. And being prepared to do what's asked for you. If I get you a warehouse job, you don't wear your stilettos.
Right.
You'd be surprised at the number of people who might not have a template for how to maintain a job. So we help them with those skills. And of course, you know, what we do for Thanksgiving and Christmas is always newsworthy, but we're here trying to meet the needs of the communities 24/7, 365.
Wow. Now share a little bit about your history because Citywide Club has been in the city for a very long time.
Yes, this will be our 44th annual Super Feast. And, you know, we've been here. We've been here through hurricanes and storms and freezes and COVID.
Yes.
Always trying to find a way to meet the needs of the community. Even when we've been impacted ourselves, we still try to find a way to meet the needs of the community.
Wow. So tell us about the big feast. And it truly is a big honking feast.
The Super Feast is great. We provide not only hot, home-cooked, nutritious meals, but we also give food baskets that would sustain a family of 3 to 5 for the next 4 to 7 days.
Wow.
We give away free frozen turkeys or hams or whatever proteins that might have been donated, as well as clothing and household items, shoes, blankets, those kinds of things. Whatever's been donated, we make sure that the community, those in the community who need it, receive it. This year, we'll have an option for sit and sup for those who want to come inside and have a hot, delicious meal, or the drive up. Those people will receive all of their items in their cars. They drive up, the volunteers put it in their cars, and they are free to leave.
Wow, that is amazing. Well, I'm sure you need a lot of volunteers to help with this.
Yes. Volunteer opportunities are still available. All you need to do to register to volunteer is go to our website at citywideclub.com and click on the volunteer link and choose your day and time and follow the prompts.
Wow. Well, this is truly a beautiful expression of love that happens throughout our community, just to look and see so many people working together.
Yes.
To really be an expression of God's love to our community by providing food. So we want you to find out all that you can about the 44th annual Thanksgiving Super Feast, sponsored by Citywide Club. I think it's awesome. There's an option to drive up, or you can. So if you're driving up, you're just going to kind of get your food and keep moving.
Yes.
Or if you want to sit and eat with others, as many would probably do,
yes,
since their families, maybe they're separated from family, they want to have that connection. Mm-hmm. There's that option to do that as well. So to find out more, go to citywideclub.com. Anything else you'd like to share?
Sure. We're still receiving donations of canned goods, frozen turkeys, any non-perishables. To find out more about how to get it to us, just give us a call at 713-752-2582. We're also receiving cash donations. You can make those online by visiting our website, citywideclub.com, or you can drop a donation in the mail to us at P.O. Box 8446, Houston 77288.
Stephanie, I have to ask you, how long have you been with Citywide Club? I met you many years ago and was pleasantly surprised to see that you're still there.
I've lost count of how long I've been with Citywide. I started as a volunteer.
Okay.
And then in 92, I came on the staff. So wow, it's been a long time.
That's awesome. Well, what a blessing to have you continuing to work in this with such a great organization.
Yes.
Well, thank all of you for tuning in today to learn more about WorkFaith Connection as well as Citywide Club. I'm very grateful to all of my guests who've joined me today. We began with WorkFaith Connection with Nick Hardy and Sivivian Merrick on staff there. And now we're rounding up with Miss Stephanie Lewis, the Regional Director for Citywide Club. Both are two organizations that are doing an amazing work in our city to help people to land on their feet. And so we encourage you to find out all that you can about them. So God bless each of you. Thank you for joining us today. And we hope you'll tune in again next week for another edition of Community Beat. I'm Kim Kasi McKee on 89.3 KSBJ.
Thanks for joining us for Community Beat with Kim Kasi McKee. Join us every Saturday morning at 5:30 on 89.3 KSBJ.